Yo, what's up guys? It's King Sean here, back with another video, and in today's video I will be discussing some players the Washington Commanders should target when free agency 2023 hits on Wednesday. So, if you guys are new to my channel, leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on notifications, on the road to 2K subscribers, so if you could get me there, I'd really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's get straight into the video. Alright, so as you all know, free agency is just right around the corner. It starts March 15th, which is a Wednesday. It really starts March 13th. That's on Monday because that's when the legal tampering period starts. March 13th, 12 p.m. Eastern, running from there until 4 p.m. March 15th. So, the legal tampering period is basically when NFL teams can negotiate with upcoming unrestricted free agents and negotiate contracts. That's basically when a lot of contracts are broken on social media, specifically Twitter and other sites. So, with that out of the way, getting to my first player, and I have Bobby Okereke, linebacker from the Colts. He is a upcoming free agent, and Bobby Okereke, I really like him. We do need a linebacker. We need linebacker depth, first of all. Right now, the only linebacker we have on the roster is Jamin Davis. I think we have a couple other guys like David Mayo, Khaleke Hudson. But really, the only guy we have on the roster right now is Jamin Davis. Cole Holcomb is going to be a free agent. Now, Ron Rivera did say they want to re-sign Cole Holcomb. And even if we do re-sign Cole Holcomb, we need another linebacker. And Bobby Okereke could be that. Bobby Okereke was drafted by the Colts in 2019. He's played basically he's been relatively healthy his entire career. Besides in 2020 he missed 2 games. But other than that, he's played full seasons in 2019, 2021, and 2022. In 2019, he had 53 total tackles, with 38 solos and 15 assists, 1 sack, and 2 pass deflections. In 2020, he played 14 games, obviously, as I stated, 69 tackles, 54 solos, 15 assists, and 6 pass deflections. In 2021, he played all 17 games, 108 tackles, 1 sack, and 4 pass deflections. In the 2022, 137 tackles, and 5 pass deflections. So, Bobby Okereke, he's a very good cover linebacker, and that's what we've struggled with the past few seasons now. Our linebackers cannot cover. I love Jamin Davis. I love Cole Holcomb. Cole Holcomb has actually improved in covering, specifically running backs. Kind of struggling. We still struggle covering tight ends. So that's always going to be an issue. But hopefully we can bring someone in to resolve this. And I feel like Bobby Okereke could be that guy. He's a great covering linebacker. He's racked up over 100 tackles for the Colts these past 2 seasons. So I think Bobby Okereke would be great. Another guy is TJ Edwards. 4 years in Philly since 2019. He's also racked up. He's been a 3-year starter in Philly. Racked up 100 plus tackles from 2020 to 2022. So I think he would be another guy. But yeah, I really like Bobby Okereke, and I think he would be a great fit for us. Alright, so next up, I have Mike Gesicki. And Mike Gesicki, he is a very solid tight end. He has been for the Dolphins ever since they drafted him back in 2018. He's been relatively healthy his entire career. He's played in all of his games his entire career. Besides one in 2020, he missed a game. He only played 15 out of the 16 games. But in 2018, as a rookie, he played in all 16, had 22 receptions, 202 yards. In 2019, he had 51 receptions, 570 yards, as well as 5 touchdowns. In 2020, he had 53 receptions, 703 yards, and 6 touchdowns. In 2021, arguably his best season with the Dolphins, he had 73 receptions, 780 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And in 2022, kind of a very down year for Mike Gesicki. Compared to his stats from the past 2 or 3 seasons, he had 32 receptions, 362 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So I think Mike Gesicki would be a very, very solid signing for us, considering we do need a tight end. I mean, I know we didn't use our tight ends at all last season, but when you just look at our tight end group right now, Logan Thomas, I mean, the ACL and MCL tear from 2021 really affected him this past season, so he wasn't able to do much. John Bates, I like him, but he's not a tight end one. He's a blocking tight end. That's really what he is. Cole Turner, we didn't use him at all last year. Cole Turner, I think he had like a catch or two against the Bears or something. And then Armani Rogers, I actually like Armani Rogers. He has some flashes during the past season, so I like him. But we just need a legitimate tight end one, and I feel like it's most likely for us to like draft one, maybe Darnell Washington, Sam Laporta, or someone else in the draft. But in my opinion, I feel like we should sign a tight end, and if it's gonna be one tight end we should sign, it should be Mike Gesicki. I like Mike Gesicki a lot. Maybe give him a 3-year deal. He's still 27, so still pretty young. So we should give him a pretty reasonable deal, 2-3 years. I think that'd be good. His average probably maybe around 10 million, maybe 11 or 12, maybe even 15, max 15. So we'll see with Mike Gesicki, but I'd really like if we were to sign him. All right, now here's some O-line help for us. Ben Powers, he's a guy that I feel like we're going to sign. And reason why our offensive line was really bad last year, really bad. I guess you could say Charles Leno had some like good moments last year, but even Charles Leno, he was not good last year. The past season, well, 2021, he was really good with us. 2022, this past season, I do not know what happened. Hopefully, he'll be better this season, but he was just not good this past season. Sam Cosmi, don't know what happened either. He just didn't look good at right tackle, and we were like transitioning like back and forth with him, back and forth between right tackle and right guard, and it just wasn't working for him. Also, he had a hand injury. Les Schweitzer was decent. Chase Roulier, he once again got injured this year, and it just wasn't good for our offensive linemen. It really wasn't, and we need to bolster this offensive line up. And Ben Powers, he could help that. He can play left guard or right guard. I think preferably left guard. I think, but he's a very solid offensive lineman. He gave up He didn't give us a single sack last year for the Ravens. He played in 99% of their snaps, and only had one penalty throughout his whole entire career. He's only been called 4 false starts. 4 false starts. And he's been in the league since 2019. He only played 1 game in 2019, however, since he wasn't a starting guard. But in 2020, he then became the starting guard, playing all 16 games. 2021, he missed 4 games, playing only 13. And in 2022, this past season, arguably his best season, he played all 17 games. So Ben Powers, I would love the addition to Ben Powers on this offensive line. I mean, this is. I mean, even if we do sign Ben Powers, this is not going to be the only move because Ron Rivera and Martin Mayhew, they've addressed it this offseason. They are going to go heavy to fix this offensive line, whether it's in the draft, free agency. They're going to do whatever it takes to fix this offensive line because they want to give Sam Howell a real shot to be the quarterback of the future, quarterback one for the Commanders. And in order to do that, we already have the weapons. We already have running backs. We just need a tight end, and we need to bolster up this offensive line. So that is what we're going to do. Offensive line, in my opinion, I think offensive line is the biggest need in Ron Rivera's mind and Martin Mayhew's mind. I think that's it for me. I think cornerback is the biggest need, maybe linebacker as well, but offensive line is definitely very, very important as well. So Ben Powers, he would be an excellent addition to this offensive line if we do sign him. Now here I have Andrew Wiley, tackle for the Chiefs. He spent his first 5 seasons with the Chiefs and is now going to be a free agent. In his first 4 seasons with the Chiefs, he was pretty good. He only gave up 10 sacks and not a bunch of penalties. He was pretty good for the Chiefs' first 4 seasons. Now this past season, 2022 season, wasn't his best. I think he was called for holding like 4 times and he gave up 9 sacks, which is an interesting number because his first 4 seasons with the Chiefs, he only gave up 10 sacks, and this past season he gave up 9 sacks, so almost equivalent to the amount of sacks this past season he gave up with the Chiefs to his first 4 seasons with the Chiefs. So that is a bad number, 9 sacks. But at the same time, Andrew Wiley, he's a former Chief. Obviously, we got Eric Bieniemy now as our offensive coordinator and assistant head coach, so that's just one factor. And another factor is he played very well against the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Obviously, the Chiefs played the Eagles in the Super Bowl. They won 38-35, and one of the reasons they won is because the Chiefs' offensive line versus the Eagles' D line was very good. I think they didn't even allow a single sack and barely any pressures. And Andrew Wiley was one of the guys who was on the Chiefs' offensive line, and he was very, very good for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So I think that's another factor right there. Also, He's been healthy his entire career. He played all 16 games in 2018. Only played 11 games in 2019, 14 games in 2020, 21 games in 2021, but all 17 games in 2022. So he's been relatively healthy his entire career. And I think he would just be a good signing. If we were to sign him, he'd obviously be our starting right tackle. We'd be able to kick Sam Cosby to right guard, which I like him at right guard better than at right tackle. Chase Roullier would be our starting center. If we do sign Ben Powers, who I mentioned in this video, he'd be our left guard, and then Charles Leno would be our left tackle. Maybe we sign a center as well, because if Chase Roullier, at this point, if Chase Roullier gets injured again this season, we have a guy. We have our backup, the guy we drafted to start in place of him. So, and then we could just move on from Chase Roullier the following season. So, I would love if we were to sign Andrew Wiley. I think he'd be a pretty decent signing. I don't think he would cost too much. Maybe he's 28, so he still has some years left. Maybe I'd sign him to like a 2-year deal. I'd also re-sign Wes Schweitzer as well to be our backup right guard. He's a very good guard, very, very good guard. I wouldn't want him to be our starter, though. He's a better backup than a starter. So those are my thoughts. I'd love if we were to sign Andrew Wiley. And now the last guy I have on here is Jonathan Jones. Jonathan Jones is one of the more underrated cornerbacks in the NFL. He started his career with the Patriots. He spent his first 7 seasons in his career with the Patriots when he was coming out of 2016 draft, undrafted, out of Auburn. The Patriots picked him up. He's been relatively healthy his whole entire career, besides 2021, where he only played 6 out of the 17 games. In 2016, when he was picked up by the Patriots, he played all 16 games, had 11 tackles, 1 pass deflection. 2017, 37 tackles, 8 pass deflections, and 1 interception. 2018, 54 tackles, 7 pass deflections, and 3 interceptions. So after that great year from him in 2018, the Patriots gave him an extension. 2019, he had a very good year as well, 49 tackles, 8 pass deflections. 2020, 65 tackles, 6 pass deflections, and 2 interceptions. 2021, like I said, didn't do much just because he was injured most of the year. 20 tackles, 3 pass deflections, 1 interception. And then this past season, 2022, his best statistical season of his entire career. 63 tackles, 11 pass deflections, 4 interceptions, and 1 of them went back for a touchdown, a pick 6. I'm pretty sure that was against the Packers. I watched that game. So Jonathan Jones, he is a very, very underrated cornerback in this league. One of the best, basically, you could argue one of the best slot cornerback in the entire NFL, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a slot cornerback. We recently released Bobby McCain. That was not really a surprise to me, at least. I know some Commanders fans but not really to me. So, but now we're looking for another cornerback, and Jonathan Jones could be a guy we could sign to replace Bobby McCain in the slot. We already have Benjamin St-Juste and Kenneth Fuller on the outside. Now, Benjamin St-Juste this past season, he was supposed to start in the slot, but Ron Rivera decided to test him on the outside, and he's really good on the outside, so that's probably where he's going to stay. Kendall Fuller, he's okay in the slot, but I'd prefer him on the outside. He's way better as an outside cornerback. So Jonathan Jones, he would be an amazing addition to add as our slot cornerback. Right now, I think he would get maybe $12 to $15 million per year. Back in 2021, we signed William Jackson to a 3-year, $45 million contract. You can give Jonathan Jones around the same, maybe a little less, but I really like Jonathan Jones a lot. I really, really do. I'd be down to sign him. This past season, PFF gave him a 69.1 overall grade in his entire career, a 78.1 grade. So Jonathan Jones, his stats, his production really says it all for him. So he's an underrated cornerback, but he's been getting some hype lately. As free agency's coming up. So I like Jonathan Jones, and I'd definitely be down to sign him. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe, turn on notifications. Once again, on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so if you could, hit that sub button. I'd really appreciate it. And other than that, it's been King Sean, and I'm out. Peace.